Whenever there was like a problem, like there'd be a little argument or some kind of an anti-Trump person, you don't see that much. I don't want to bring it on, but you don't see it much anymore. You know what? It's dangerous. It's dangerous with it.
Another Trump campaign rally where the president celebrates violence and goes down an ugly road on a number of levels.
Oh, it was really something last night.
And it was a super spreader event.
It was a super spreader event, but that's what he does, and people obviously like to go out and risk their lives, and that's, of course, their choice. It's a free country. But, Willie, of course, we're going to be showing some clips where the president makes comments that,
oh, my God.
Oh, I don't know. We won't call them fascist comments. And
look at these people squashed together.
That it's what autocrats do and say, but it is what autocrats do and say when you're once again glorifying violence. And as the president's long done, celebrated the fact that people could get hurt in their rally if they exercise their First Amendment rights. And, of course, later on in the rally, the president basically said a member of Congress was not an American. Mm-hmm. That, the whole, how is her country doing? Why is she telling us what to do in our country?
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. If that's not what fascists do, I would love for a professor or somebody who studies fascism to let us know if that is not the practice of fascist leaders, and if Donald Trump may not be trying to imitate them and whipping his crowds into a frenzy.
Yeah, we're going to walk through all those clips, but you're right. Rarely do you see bigotry so explicit as it was in that one moment last night from Donald Trump talking about a sitting member of Congress who came to America as a refugee as a child. We'll get into that. Mika touched on those pictures we saw, totally flaunting, all of the guidance from the CDC, all of the guidance from his own doctors about distancing, about masks. There are a handful of masks in there. Obviously, the people behind him had masks on, as they've done before at these events.
Not all of them.
And then, as you say, glorifying violence, celebrating injuries suffered by a colleague of ours, a reporter, who was shot in the knee with rubber bullets. Again, celebrating that, drawing large cheers from the crowd. So he has created this culture where those kind of things, using bigotry against a sitting member of Congress, celebrating violence, and not wearing a mask are all celebrated at these rallies.
Well, and listen, this is an issue, obviously, regardless of whether Donald Trump wins or loses this fall. This is a country that we have to look at and wonder how 40, 45%, 46% of Americans cheer and laugh and celebrate when a member of the press gets hurt or anybody gets hurt. Actually, it's not just members of the press. He's long talked about beating up people or carrying people out on stretchers at rallies who, again, exercise the First Amendment rights that Hamilton and Madison and Washington and soldiers and sailors and Marines have fought for 240 years. And he's up there talking about a strong man from South America, mocking outsiders, suggesting again that a refugee that came to America to live the American dream and then became a member of the United States Congress is not an American. She shouldn't tell us what to do with our country. Again, I'm just underlining this before we start. I know he throws a lot of things at the wall all the time. But again, that doesn't mean we shouldn't stop every day and call fascism fascism. Now, again, if you don't think this is fascism, if you don't think this is how autocrats try to whip crowds into a frenzy, let us know. I mean, maybe we'll have a discussion about it on the show. But it certainly is what I've read throughout my life, certainly does look that way from here and looks that way to many Americans.
He's making all these people sick. Along with Joe, Willie, and me, we have MSNBC contributor Mike Barnicle. MSNBC national affairs analyst, co-host of Showtime's The Circus, and executive editor of The Recount, John Heilemann. Politics and journalism professor at Morgan State University, politics editor at The Grio, and an MSNBC political contributor, Jason Johnson joins us. And NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent and host of Way Too Early with Casey DC, Casey Hunt.
So, John Heilemann, let me just ask you: Are we being hyperbolic here? A president talking about violence, celebrating the fact that if somebody dissented, that it would be dangerous for them, and laughing and drawing cheers for the shooting of a member of the Free Press who was where he was supposed to be legally, but got shot by a rubber bullet, and the cheering that he was in extreme pain and misery, and also declaring that a refugee that came to this country was somehow not a member of this country. I mean, let's listen to this bite where the president basically says that a member of Congress is not a member of our country because she's not white.
You know AOC? Not a good student, not good at anything, but she's got a good line of crap, I'll tell you that. He's got a hell of a line. And she's got him, you know, she's radical left, but she's not as bad as some of them. How about Omar of Minnesota? We're going to win the state of Minnesota because of her, they say. She's telling us how to run our country. How did you do where you came from? How is your country doing? They're going to tell, she's going to tell us, she's telling us how to run our country.
She's telling us how to run our country as if it's not her country because, like Donald Trump's mother and like Donald Trump's grandparents, she was an immigrant to the United States of America. So, John Heilemann, before we get to the top of the news, I mean, tell me if it's hyperbole or if this is not, again, what fascist leaders have done throughout the decades.
Not hyperbole. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Mika. Good morning, Willie, and everybody else. Not hyperbole. And I think all of us. The sad part about this is not that it's not only is it not hyperbolic, but this is not like the first time. The whole reason why I think we all of us who were reluctant to use this kind of language, even after seeing Donald Trump do a lot of very disturbing things in the 2016 campaign. I speak for myself, and I think for a lot of other people, you didn't want to go to leap to notions of fascism, to the kinds of language that now not only seems not hyperbolic, but seems inevitable, like unavoidable. You can't, it's all like all the same, there are all these other labels, right? Xenophobic, racist, demagogic, all of those things, are things that we are reluctant to apply to any politician. But Trump has been so consistently all of those things: racist, sexist, xenophobic, autocratic, and fascistic for so long now that even everyone who's kind of resisted that language, now it's not even that you apply it reluctantly. You apply it because there are no other words, and he's done it so often just with these women. Just with the women he's citing right here, with AOC, with Congresswoman Omar, with Congresswoman Tlaib, with the squad who he has chosen to demonize from the moment that these women got elected. He's done this, again, this is not the first time he's done it with them. They're some of his favorites. And Joe, to your point at the top, the thing that is so disturbing about the entire thing is not that Donald Trump is a fascist and not that Donald Trump is an aspiring autocrat, but is that the response to all of that has only gotten more intensely positive in his crowd. Right. And whether Donald Trump wins or loses this fall, those people and those views that they cheer and they embrace in Donald Trump, that slice of the electorate will still be here. And that is why I keep saying over and over again, the man is dangerous, but he is a symptom and not a cause.